Hi, and welcome to A Better Place. Today we will be continuing our discussion on education as we speak to the Executive Director of the Methodist Agogic Center Foundation. Stay tuned, we will be right back. Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place as we continue our discussion with the Executive Director at the MAC, the Methodist Agogic Foundation, Mr. Clinton Spring. Mr. Spring, welcome back again.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so let's continue our discussions as we were discussing the various aspects about the MAC school and what you offer. Now, a few years ago, they started with foundation-based education, and they started it off in the Cycle 1, and now they have continued into the Cycle 2. Can you elaborate and tell us a bit, how has the MAC Foundation worked with the foundation-based education, and have you incorporated just about everything, or have you just taken out what you think is necessary for the MAC school?
Well, from the inception of the Methodist Agogic Center, the pedagogic institution, which is the school, our mission statement clearly stated that we'll provide education for any child in St. Martin, and will give them foundation education for total development. So foundation education was with the MAC from 1976. So when foundation-based education system, which is an approach, the foundation-based education, to be considered, is an approach to education on St. Martin. It wasn't anything that is entirely new to us. Of course, there were some of principles that we did not have in our education repertoire. So we had to incorporate those so that we actually comply with the wishes and the commands of the government. For example, in foundation-based education, they were asking that the school has a clear school model. Where the MAC was concerned, we have a model, but it was, what we call it, not written. It was a sort of an unwritten model.
Right.
So with the inception of foundation-based education, we were able now to take up the challenge and have our school model being recorded, documented, and accepted by the school boards, etc., etc., etc. The principles of foundation-based education, they are extremely, extremely good. If the schools really implement these principles, I think we will have a very good education system here in St. Martin, because as it says, it's really foundation. One of the shortcomings, though, is the curriculum that the schools have been given to really follow. That curriculum has a lot of shortcomings. I don't know. I know I'll be greatly criticized when anybody hears me saying that. But we need to really look at the curriculum more closely. There's much improvement can be done with it. And secondly, the implementation of foundation-based education could have been done a little differently, so that we could have got more better results with the to the whole implementation. But all in all, it's a very good system, very good approach. And we at the Methodist Agogic Center was able to enrich our curriculum and our education, the quality of the education that we have, that we are offering and we are providing. We were greatly enriched with the whole implementation of foundation-based education.
Okay, you mentioned about the principles that are very good. Can you, for persons who do not know what foundation-based education is, can you elaborate a bit about those principles and what makes it, you know, like you said, very good?
Yes. One of the principles that we all have to embrace in foundation-based education is that it is what we call a child-centered approach, in that the child is the most important person in the whole education system. And that goes back to when we were talking in the first program, where we said that it's very important that all effort be made to ensure that the child learn rather than merely be taught.
Right.
So with foundation-based education, and the child is the center, we have to have the approaches, we have the monitoring and the assessment, the right equipment, so that we ensure that the child learns. So, and it is no more where the teacher just pour the information down into the child, and then to get the child regurgitate it.
Right.
As we said, the child is not a vase to be filled, but a lamp to be lit. And that is what foundation-based education is. And that's what we call child center, where we give the child the skills and their concept so that they take responsibility of their own learning, and so learning take place. So this being central, the child being the center. That's one of the principles.
Okay, Mr. Spring, we're going to continue talking about that, but I don't know why our time keeps running out on us. We'll come back. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
For those topsy-turvy nights, a diaper that suits your baby. Huggy Snug and Dry with all new leak lock. Absorbs faster to help stop leaks. Parenthood, chaotically beautiful. Enjoy it.
Are you looking for that prescription that the doctor just gave to you and you can't find it at no other pharmacy? Well, the Orange Grove Pharmacy is where you should be. The Orange Grove Pharmacy, we carry a wide range of American and European prescriptions and drugstore items. We also do personal care products. We offer friendly services and 24 hours emergency delivery. Charges may apply. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., Saturdays, 9 to 1 p.m. Orange Grove Pharmacy, supporting a healthy lifestyle.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. Mr. Spring, we were busy talking about foundation-based education and the child-centered approach. Can you also tell us, because I know something I heard, not sure if it was implemented, that with this principle as well, that the children or a child would not repeat a class. Is that really the case, or how has that been dealt with?
That was in the original plan in the implementation of foundation-based education. Because what happened is the elementary school is divided into two cycles. We have the first cycle, which takes children from 4 years to 8 years. And then the second cycle from 8 to 12. Now, within a classroom, an FB classroom, as the original plan was, is that you have a mixture of ages, with some 4-year-olds, some 6-year-olds, some 8-year-olds within a particular classroom. So if that is the case, it means then that the child has 4 years to spend in cycle 1. And then it means that the child will not be repeating a particular classroom. In the traditional setting where we have kindergarten 1 and kindergarten 2 and grade 1 and grade 2, each of these classes at a particular level. The FBE system, again in the original form, we should not have been having these separate classes. We should have had the children mix in a particular class, and they'll spend a particular group of children will spend a year with a teacher, and then that group will move on to another teacher. And what we might spend 2 years, that particular group might spend 2 years with a teacher, or 3 years, which we use determined education that we call looping. Now, if this had taken place, then a child will not repeat a class because he would not have been in a particular grade. Until after the end of the 4 years, the child will move on to cycle 2. Those children, when they become 8, will move on to cycle 2.
Right.
But this is not what is happening.
Okay.
Within the elementary school, even though we are not using grade 1 or grade 2 or kindergarten, we're using group 1 or group 2. It's the same
thing
as kindergarten 1.
The only difference is the name.
Yes, as Shakespeare said, call a flower by a different name, it's just as sweet.
Right.
So with the children in group 1 and group 2, and then that mix, have the 4 year groups within that one classroom, then there's some children who will not be able to, not ready to move on to the next level. With good evaluation and assessment, it'd be recommended that the child stays within that grade level. But until we get away from the group 1 and the group 2, or the kindergarten 1 and the kindergarten 2, repeating is going to take place.
Okay, so now let's get more in depth now about the curriculum at the MAC school. The MAC goes from kindergarten 1 straight up to grade 6.
Yes.
And I also believe that you also have now your preschool section, which caters to children at the age of 3.
Yes.
What exactly can you explain this? Because we've had your coordinator for your preschool on the program already, so we basically know what is given in the preschool. And so kind of give us a brief description of what happens from K1 through 6, and what are some of the subjects that are taught which helps to create this better child coming out of the MAC school.
Okay. The MAC curriculum is custom made, and it is a spiral curriculum. We use the word spiral, and we use the social studies theme in order to describe our curriculum. Now, at the kindergarten level, which now let us use it with the 4 and 5-year-olds.
Right.
I prefer to use those terms now. The curriculum theme is my home. They're talking about the home and the school. So at that level, the children learn all about the home. The name of the persons in the home, the father, the mother, the grandparents, etc., where they're living, the relationship, whether you're an uncle or an aunt, etc., etc. So they learn all about the home. Then they will, when they become 5, they're going to learn all about the classroom as they